All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on something that powers, well, basically our entire digital world. I'm talking about the secret commands that let our favorite apps and games actually talk to us, and maybe more importantly, listen to what we have to say. So how does it all work? Let's get into it.
Yeah, just think about it for a second. You're deep in an intense match, right? You land that final shot, and boom, victory flashes across the screen. But how did the game know you won? Or how does your phone know what name to slap onto your profile or exactly how many points you racked up? You know, it feels like magic, but I promise you, it's something way, way cooler. It's code.
And believe it or not, this entire conversation, this whole back and forth you have with every single app, it all boils down to just two super simple ideas. First, there's your command. That's literally just you telling the app what to do. And then there's the computer's reply, which is just the app showing you what happened. That's it. Seriously, that's the whole game.
So, in the world of coding, and especially in Python, we've got official names for these two actions. We call them input and output. And look, these aren't just fancy words. They are the two most fundamental, most important commands in all of coding. Once you get these, you basically unlock the cheat codes to building pretty much anything interactive you can think of. Okay, first up is input. And the command for that is, you guessed it, input. Its one and only job is to get information from you, the user. A perfect example? Think about when you're in Mobile Legends and you're on that hero select screen. That choice you make, that is you providing input. You make a choice, you give the command, and the game takes it in. And the other side of that coin? That's output. For this, we use the print command. Its job is to show information back to you. So remember that victory screen we talked about, the one that pops up after you just crushed a match? Yep, that's the print command doing its thing. It's really that simple. Input is you talking to the computer, and print is the computer talking back. And this is where you can see how beautifully these two things work together. Look at this first line of code. It uses input to ask for your name, right? Then, whatever you type in gets saved in this little container, this variable that we're calling player_name. Then, the very next line uses print to show a custom welcome message, and it pulls the name right out of that variable to do it. So cool and so simple, right?
And I guarantee you've seen this exact logic at play 1,000 times. You just didn't know what was happening behind the scenes. Every single time you see a login screen, or a page to set up your profile, or even just a simple welcome message that says, hey, and then your name, what you're really seeing is just these two little commands working together in perfect harmony.
All right, so getting text from a user is cool. But what about numbers? This is where things start to get really powerful. We're about to see how code can take your input, not as text, but as a number, and then actually do math with it. This is a game changer.
So let's give ourselves a little challenge. Let's pretend we're building a feature for a game, maybe something like PUBG or even a Roblox game. Our job is to figure out a player's total points at the end of a match, all based on how well they did.
Okay, so check this out. The code first asks the player for their number of kills and then for their assists. But here's the crucial part. See that int function wrapped around the input? That's the magic trick. That tells Python, hey, this isn't just text, it's a number. Because it's a number, we can then do math. We calculate the total points, maybe 10 points per kill, 5 per assist. And then, of course, we use print to show the player their final score.
And again, this isn't just some made-up example for fun. This exact logic is the engine running in the background of so many things you use. It's in PUBG match simulators, Roblox point calculators, and it's definitely the brains behind any game leaderboard that ranks you against your friends. Okay, now we get to the really fun stuff. Once your code can take in information and do math with it, the very next level is teaching it how to make decisions. This is the secret sauce that makes an app feel smart, you know? Like, it's actually responding to you. This is how we bring our code to life.
All right, let's switch gears for our next example. We're going to build something you'd totally see on a K-pop fan voting app. The mission is simple. We need to get the number of votes for an idol and check if it's enough for them to be considered trending.
So the logic here is a super simple flow. Step 1, we get the fan votes using our input command. Step 2, and this is the key part, the code asks a question. Are the votes greater than or equal to 10,000? It's a fork in the road. If the answer is yes, it goes down one path and prints that the idol is trending. But if the answer is no, it goes down the other path and prints a message to keep voting. The code itself is actually making a choice based on the data.
And this exact same logic is what powers that classic victory or defeat screen. Imagine the program asks, "Did you win?" and stores your answer, yes or no, in a variable. The code then just checks, does that variable equal yes? If it does, boom, you get the victory screen. If it's anything else, if it's no, then you get the defeat screen. That simple if-else choice determines everything. Okay, so at this point, we have all the main skills, right? We can get input, we can do math, and we can make decisions. The last piece of the puzzle is just making our output look good. You know, making it look professional, like a real scoreboard you'd actually see in a finished game.
And you might be surprised how we do this. To get a really clean, formatted screen like a proper match summary, you just use the print command over and over again. Seriously. You print a line of equal signs for a border. Then you print the label, player, next to the player's name, then the score. It's all just simple print statements stacked on top of each other. It gives you total control over how everything looks.
So yeah, we've covered a fair bit, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to those first two commands we talked about. They might seem almost too basic, but I'm telling you, understanding input and output is the absolute key that unlocks everything else in programming.
I mean, look at this comparison. It really says it all, doesn't it? Without input and output, a program is just a silent robot. It can't ask you anything. It can't show you anything. It's useless. But the moment you add them, now you can build a scoreboard. Now you can create a fan vote tracker. Now you can make a quiz. The possibilities just explode. They become infinite.
So here's a super quick recap of our new toolkit. We use input to get data from the user. We use print to show things on the screen. We use int to turn that input into numbers for math. And we use if-else to make choices. These four things, they're your new foundational building blocks. So, after all that, the crucial point is all this incredible power, all this interactivity, all the creativity that goes into making an app that people actually love to use. It all comes from just two fundamental ideas. Just two. That's it. Input and output. Your command and the computer's reply. Think about it. Everything we just designed, the scoreboard, the points calculator, that K-pop voting system, all of it was built using just those two core concepts.
And that brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important question of all. You now have the tools. You get the concepts. You could literally go and build the code for a scoreboard, a quiz, or a vote tracker right now. So my question to you is, what will you build first?